Wait just a minute. This is Mark in the Pew, and we're starting off today's reading with Genesis chapter 14 and 15. And believe me, I hate this as much as you do, but I'm going to be butchering over all these names and places. I'm not a very smart man, but I'm going to try. I'm just going to read it straight out of the actual Bible. This is the New Revised Standard Version Catholic Edition. So anyway, Genesis chapter 14. And I can't read with these on. In the days of Amphrael, king of Shinar, Arioch, king of Elasar, Chedorlaomer, king of Elam, and Tidal, king of Goyim. These kings made war with Bera, king of Sodom, Birsha, king of Gomorrah, Shinab, king of Admah, Shemeber, king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, that is Zoar. And all of these joined forces in the valley of Siddim, that is the Salt Sea. 12 years they had served Chedorlaomer. In the 13th year they rebelled. In the 14th year, Chedorlaomer and these kings who were with him came and subdued the Rephaim in Ashteroth Karnaim, the Zuzim in Ham, the Emim in Shaver-Kiratathim, and the Hemorites. I must sound like an idiot, you all. Let's see. And the Hurites of Mount Seir as the El Paran on the border of wilderness. Then they turned back and came to En-Mishpat, that is Kadesh, and they subdued all of the country of the Amalekites and all of the Amorites who dwelt in Haz-Azon Tamor. Then the king of Sodom and the king of Gomorrah, the king of Admah and the king of Zeboim and the king of Bela, that is Zoar, went out and they joined the battle of the valley of Siddim, with Chedorlaomer, king of Elam, Tidal, king of Goyim, and Amraphel, king of Shinar, and Arioch, king of Elasar, 4 kings against 5. Now the valley of Siddim was full of bitumen pits, which is oil pits, and the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled. Some fell into them, and the rest fled to the mountain. So the enemy took all of the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah and all the provisions, and they went their way. They also took Lot, the son of Abram's brother, who dwelt in Sodom, and his goods, and departed. Then one who had escaped came and told Abram the Hebrew. He was living by the oaks of Mamre, the Amorite, brother of Eshcol, and of Aner. These were the allies of Abram. When Abram heard that his kinsman had been taken captive, he led forth his trained men born in the house, 318 of them, and went in pursuit as far as Dan. And he divided his forces against them by night, and his servants, and routed them, pursued them to the Hobah north of Damascus. Then he brought back all the goods, and also brought back his kinsman Lot with his goods, and the women and the people. After his return from the defeat of Chedorlaomer and the kings who were with him, the king of Sodom went out to meet him at the valley of Shavah. That is the King's Valley. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine, and he was priest of God Most High. And he blessed him and said, Blessed be Abram by God Most High, maker of heaven and earth, and blessed be God Most High, who has delivered our enemies into your hand. And Abram gave him a tenth of everything, and the king of Sodom said to Abram, Give me the persons, but take the goods for yourself. But Abram said to the king of Sodom, I have sworn to the Lord Most High, maker of heaven and earth, that I would not take a thread or a sandal thong or anything that is yours, lest you should say, I have made Abram rich. I will take nothing but the young men have eaten and the share of the men who went with me. Let Ener, Eshcol, and Mamre take their share. Chapter 15. After these things, the word of the Lord came to Abram in a vision. Fear not, Abram, I am your shield. Your reward shall be great. But Abram said, O Lord God, that wilt thou give me, for I continue childless, and the heir of my house is Eliezer of Damascus. And Abram said, Behold, thou hast given me no offspring, and a slave born in my house will be my heir. And behold, the word of the Lord came to him, This man shall not be your heir, your own son shall be your heir. And he brought him outside and said, Look toward the heaven and number the stars, if you are able to see them. Then he said to him, So shall your descendants be. And he believed the Lord, and he reckoned it to him as righteousness. And he said to him, I am the Lord who brought you from Ur and of the Chaldeans to give you the land to possess. But he said, O Lord God, how am I to know that I shall possess it? He said to him, Bring me a heifer 3 years old, a she-goat 3 years old, a ram 3 years old, a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. And he brought him all of these, cut them in two, laid each half over against the other, but did not cut the birds in two. And when the birds of prey came down upon the carcasses, Abram drove them away. As the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell on Abram, and lo, a dread and great darkness fell upon him. Then the Lord said to Abram, Know of a surety that your descendants will be sojourners in a land that is not theirs, and will be slaves there, and they will be oppressed for 400 years. But I will bring judgment on the nation which they serve, and afterward they shall come out with great possessions. As for yourself, you shall go to your fathers in peace. You shall be buried in a gold... Wow, I can't read you all. You shall be buried in a good old age, and they shall come back here in the 4th generation, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet complete. When the sun had gone down, and it was dark, behold, a smoking firepot and a flaming torch passed between the pieces. Oh, that day the Lord made a covenant with Abram, saying, To your descendants I give this land, from the river of Egypt to the great river Euphrates, and the land of the Kenites, the Kizanites, the Cadmonites, the Hittites, and the Perizzites, and the Rephaim, and the Amorites, the Canaanites, and the Girgashites, and the Jebusites. I'm sorry, I butchered all that, I know, and now I know that I'm not a very good reader, but thank you. On the next video, which I'm going to do right now, is going to be Job 3 and 4, and Proverbs chapter 1, verses 8 through 19. So stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.